Hey guys, uh, Sunday night, recording early Sunday night here. I was always taught to dress for the weather, and Sunday Easter Sunday we got all this snow, so let's get on with the show. Hey there, welcome. It is, like I said, it's Sunday night. I decided to go ahead and record the show a day early. Usually record these Sunday nights or maybe Monday mornings. We're going to do this Sunday night just because, with all this snow, we might not have enough power here. So just kidding. Anyway, hey, welcome to week 15 of Des Moines Real Estate. This is Simply Des Moines Market Update, the weekly show that talks about real estate and the activity in the Des Moines and Central Iowa market. And my name is Les Solgrove, and trust me, I'm toasty warm tonight here. So let's get started here and talk about what happened this past week. So one thing you're going to notice here is that we're starting to see a little jump in our inventory in existing homes. We're bubbling up. We're at 576 homes currently on the market on the existing home side, where that's normally been around 500. So our balance is starting to just ever so slightly shift from 33 and 50%, 33% on the existing homes to 50% on new homes, and we're starting to build just a little bit. The condo townhomes are still, new homes are still 12%, and only 5% of our inventory is out there has been condo existing homes. But the big news this week is right here in the center. You'll notice that all bars are yellow, which means that the market is currently favoring all sellers markets. This is a whole entirely sellers market now in our metro area, including new homes. New home sales were the ones that were still kind of out there in the even market category. But here this past week, we have finally gotten down to right at 3 months of inventory, which puts it right at the edge and into a seller's market. So the other thing you'll notice here is we're still seeing low days on market overall, 5 days on market on average, 3 days for existing homes and 2 for condo townhomes. So if you've got a buyer out there looking, that they're out there trying to find something very, very quickly here. I wouldn't be surprised also if sometime this coming week we don't have a new threshold. We're going to hit a milestone, I should say, of 4,000 closed sales. We're less than 200 away right now, and I think we're going to see probably that happen either late this week or maybe the first of next week. But hopefully we'll have a splash announcement that are coming up. So spoke with a lot of realtors this past week, and one of the topics was, hey, why do realtors kind of hold off and list homes on Fridays? Well, and I said, I don't know if that's true or not. It just seems that way. So I did a little bit of research, and true enough, through week 15, on average, we're putting about 72 homes on the market on every Friday versus 50 on Thursdays and 50s on Mondays. So you kind of, Mondays are a big day, but Thursdays are kind of a buildup. And then Fridays, we're hitting that 72 on average. And so that does make a lot of sense. We have sellers going on the market saying, let's get this home sold over the weekend so we can maybe be out of the house, let a lot of showings happen. And so 72 homes on average year to date. Another way to look at this is by looking at by week. And I've highlighted the Fridays in all of these marks. So every one of these tick mark is a day of the week. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Monday was this first one here. And you can kind of see that as we got into week 5, week 7, 8, 9, we were definitely Fridays were the busiest days. Week 11, 12, and on has been pretty much the big day of the week here for listings. So anyway, that's kind of a fun graphic to look at there. So this week's show is heavily focused on the trends. Again, as I was talking to other realtors and a lot of customers actually as well, they're asking, when do you think we're going to see a change in our market? Because a change is going to happen. I mean, it's just natural. We go through these 10-year cycles. And currently we're at about 13 years into our 10-year cycle just because of COVID. And I keep saying we're going to start to see some changes, and I'm already starting to see some changes. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. The problem is right now we're so busy with the listing market being down to 3 and 2 days on market on average that we probably aren't going to think that we're seeing some changes. But if you start to look at the trending over the last 2 or 3 years, this is where it gets valuable to really look back and take a step back and see what's kind of happened in the marketplace. So what I've got for you this week is I've got a series of graphics. There's 3 graphics to each of the categories. We have all home categories, which is everything, new construction, resale, everything. And then I break it down by the 4 categories, which is existing homes, which is our resale properties, which we sell. Again, most of our properties selling are existing home sales. New construction, single family homes, and then the condo townhome market, both in the existing and the condo in the new construction categories. So we'll look at all the categories in the active listing counts, and then we'll kind of cut back on just look at the single family, both all and for existing and then new as well. But we'll leave the condo townhome section off of that here. But this is just a good baseline going all the way back to 2019. You can see that as we really started into 2020, I made a prediction early on in 2020 that our market was kind of hitting our peak, and I thought, that's going to be a sign where our market is really kind of we're going to start building inventory again, because since 2013, 14, 15 up through 2019, our inventory levels, we're starting to build a little bit. Some couple years it was flat there. And you see that little nub right there. That's kind of where the point in time where I said we're going to start to see inventory build. And it's more evident when we look at the next graphic, which we'll get to in just a second. But you can see that really what happens is COVID hit, and all of 2020 basically was a year of inventory dropping. And again, not necessarily because we didn't have as many homes for sale. Inventory was dropping basically because of buyer demand. We just couldn't list enough homes, so therefore the inventory levels continued to drop. 2021 was a tough year for inventory, but it did have a couple of periods where it kind of peaked or spiked and came back. And 2022, we're kind of seeing that same effect, although we're just down just a little bit. However, I think we're going to start to see a change in that. So let's take a look at existing homes. And this is where you saw that little bump in inventory on the overall inventory. This is what triggered me to say in 2020 that I thought we were going to see a change in our marketplace, because we were really starting to see about 4 to 6 weeks there of inventory start to build at a time of the year where we would normally start to see inventory start to build. And it was building at a faster pace than 2019 and then 2018. But then, of course, when COVID hit, that changed that. And so I had just made my prediction that we had peaked, and we were, our marketplace was going to start to turn into a summer, or maybe even a downward turn market. And then, of course, all of a sudden, COVID just changed all that. So our continued decline of listing inventory all the way into 2021. And one thing you'll notice here is that, we did actually go below 2021's inventory level in the existing home marketplace. But as I mentioned earlier, we're currently almost 600 homes for sale in the single family resale, or that existing homes category right now. And if you were to kind of transfer that back over here to the same period of 2021, we're actually just right at, or maybe a little bit ahead of the same time last year, which gives me hope that if we can start to build, that maybe this little hill that we're seeing from 2021, maybe that will start to grow. And if that grows more, then that'll be our sure sign that our market is starting to make some changes. It's not going to happen overnight. It's probably not going to even happen completely in 2022, but we're certainly going to start to see some changes, I think. And that's just not going to be visible if you're not looking back at the overall trending here. Existing condo townhomes, same kind of thing. You can see where 2021, there's a period of time there where a lot of condo townhome sellers just basically said, let's come off the market. Let's just see what happens. Or they were, buying up condo townhomes, because our inventory just totally dropped from 2020 to 2021, went down in half, and almost in half again this year. We're down to, at our lowest point, about 75 existing condo townhomes for sale. This is by far the most active segment of our market is the existing condo townhomes. And we'll kind of see the pricing here in a minute on how that looks, but we are starting to see that also build up just a little bit. You can see that it's making its comeback, even though we've had a couple little dips right here at the end. The new home construction, this is the one where it's really more controlled by the builders, because the builders can turn inventory on and off based on their development availability and land availability. And we've seen them kind of build some inventory. However, we haven't really seen any of these real large spikes like we saw in early 2021, and 2 or 3 spikes here and there where we added maybe 50, 60 houses at one time by a builder. We're just kind of seeing inventory kind of be added maybe 10 or 15 at a time overall on a given day, instead of 50 or 60 in spikes. So the same thing on the condo townhome. We have seen one little spike here, and I think that was a development that opened up, and that's probably why that spike came on and then turned right around, and a lot of those ended up selling. So looking at the list prices, so this is median list prices, and now we're just going to look at new home sales, all sales, and existing single family sales. We're going to leave the condo townhome market off. Don't worry, I do have all the graphics for you in the show recording notes that you can get at DesMoinesMarketValues.com. This median list price is largely driven this year and last year by new construction. And so when we see all home sales or all homes are pricing going up, this is again largely driven by the new construction market here. And if we can kind of see that by just looking at the new construction. So if we took out everything but new home sales from 2021, this is where you can just see this massive increase in pricing. A lot of it has to do with availability of materials and costs that went up, but also the desirability for someone to buy a home when there wasn't a lot of existing homes out there. They were out there buying new homes with that record low mortgage interest rates. So I think we're going to see a little change in that this year with the rates pushing upward. I think we could actually see 6% here in the next 30 to 45 days. And honestly, that might be a magic percentage. I don't know. We'll see if 6% is the point where people finally just say, okay, prices are, it's costing me too much and I have to buy in a lower price point. So I still think we're going to have buyer demand. It's just going to be where they end up buying. So this is new homes. The existing homes, this is one of the reasons why I say I think I think you can see that as we went from 2021 through the end of the year and it started off the year, we actually dropped, well, I wouldn't say well below, but below that $200,000 median list price. Sorry. We actually dropped below that for a pretty good chunk of time, from early December, maybe late November, all the way through the first part of February, at which point the market kind of came back to life. And then we've just seen this this large jump in median list prices up here. So we tend to see spikes in the existing homes. So we'll see, 2 or 3 higher price homes come on the market, and then they sell as well. And that's kind of what these spikes are. They kind of take over that overall average and bring it up there. So as far as median sale prices go, again, this is overall all home sales from 2019. This is the natural curve that we've all talked about. We're seeing it going from starting off in 2019 under 200,000 as the median sale price to almost 280, 275, 270,000 so far in 2022. In fact, we have already recorded higher median sale prices than so far this year than what we hit of all of last year, where we hit about 265 or 270, 265, I think, right in here, and we're close to 275. This is that little gap where the median list prices were down, so we saw some lower sale prices, and then these will come up as the market moves forward. New construction, again, pushing upwards of 385,000, maybe at least 380,000 on the median sale price front. And we are kind of seeing maybe that level off a little bit. There's going to be a point that, we really can't sustain probably this high price point much longer with the rise in interest rates. And you can kind of see that kind of happen last year down here, around that April, May point in time. But then as the market went through the summer and fall, prices just went on up and up here. So, and then the last one here is the existing homes sales. And again, you can kind of see that we're seeing that existing home prices, median sale prices are spiking just a little bit. They're still ahead of last year. We're at a little over 235 there for a period of 2 or 3 days. And, so there's still room if we follow last year's trending that we could get closer to that $250,000 price point in the median sale price. Again, if we don't see that, then that's kind of the sign that says that, maybe that's where the market's starting to change here a little bit. So in any case, appreciate you joining me every week on this. And again, dress warm for the weather here. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. But we're going to definitely see a change in our weather here. So again, thanks again for joining me. Be sure and hit the like button on Simply Des Moines Stats on my YouTube page and my YouTube channel. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That way you'll get this information out here as quickly as possible. So thanks again, and be safe out there. And we'll talk to you all again next week.